dovetail what Casey said, and that's what we want to do with these meetups. We want to share with you. This is for business owners, entrepreneurs, our LA web and design people, our Double Your Check Club people, all these various people. We want to make sure that you're successful out there. I love working with Casey because we have the same mantra, if you will. We've seen success, and now we want to share it with you. Is that all right that we do that?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Speaking about sharing, I'd like to invite up now my business partner this meetup, as well as in conferences and all that. Let me tell you something. I met him at his meetup. I walked into this place, there's vendors, there's 200 people, and I'm meeting Casey Eberhart. Oh my gosh! And here, 2 years later, I consider him one of my best friends, colleagues, and advisor. And I suggest that's exactly what you should do. Find your advisor. So now, on tips on networking, I can't think of a better person, ladies and gentlemen, Casey Eberhart, tips on networking.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How many of you came here tonight with the mindset that you're going to buy something? Look around the room. Will you say that's fair enough whenever you go to a networking group like this? You don't ever go with the mindset of buying, right? So why do you guys show up here thinking you're going to sell yourself to these people? How many of you showed up tonight thinking you're going to sell something? Now you're going through the voices in your head. You're like, shit, yeah, I paid $10, I'm going to sell something. Right? So let's talk about the 72 tips to networking.
Go wide.
I'll give you the first 5 and sell you the rest.
No, just out of curiosity, how many people have seen me in a speaking presentation, not in a meetup group, but like in an actual presentation? It's so weird, like this, okay. Awesome. So here's the deal. I have a blog called The Ideal Networker, and I'm really kind of a specialist in how to build a network or a community of people and make them feel special while doing it. So here are a couple of ideas. First off, I always know that when we go to an event, nobody is there to buy anything. So I never sell anything. It's a networking group. It's not net selling, it's not net buying. So the first thing I do. Secondly, I never ever take business cards to a networking event. Right? Anybody? Those of you who see me, why?
Because you want to contact them, you don't want them contacting you.
Right, if I give you my business card, you're going to put me on your list and try to sell me crap. However, if I take your business card, I'm going to put you on my list and I'm going to try to sell you my crap. Right? It's really about the flow of information on some level, right? The reality is that we're never going to work with everybody in the room, so we have to be a little bit discerning of who we want to work with. So if you don't take business cards, you don't ever have to get contacted by somebody you don't want to work with. It's just tip from Casey, right? Secondly, when I go to an event, I am very aware that if my product, good or service, was applicable to somebody in this room, think about this. If I sold I don't know, let's just call it a widget. I sold a widget. Is there a high likelihood that my widget is going to be a perfect match for each and every single one of you in the room? No. Right? So a lot of people will go to a networking event and they'll just randomly bump into people and start trying to hawk their service. Hey, let me tell you all about me. Hey, let me tell you all about me. Hey, let me tell you all about me. And then at the end of the day you go, whew, I worked really hard. I shared my presentation with 42 people tonight. I handed out my cards 65 times. I have a coaching client who literally came to me and said, I'm having no luck at networking events. And I said, okay, what's your goal when you go to a networking event? And she literally told me, my goal is to make sure my business card is in the hands of every single person in the room. So we went to an event and I literally watched her, and this is what she did. Hey Steve, hey Amy, hey Mary Lou, hey Marissa, hey Roslyn. Hey, it was obnoxious, right? So, I'm supposed to not, I'm not supposed to like turn my back to the audience. Speaking tip, number 2. Right, so when I go to a networking event, I'm always, and I'm going to take a phrase from David Fagan here, I want to always put the odds in my favor. I want to play the odds. So there are 5 people that I'm going to get to know at every single networking event. It doesn't matter what event, you don't call it a barbecue, call it a funeral, call it a networking event, it doesn't matter, it's the same 5 people at every single event. Right? First person speaker. Why? They're the expert. This is Carrie Williams. She runs a meetup group. She's also a coach. She coaches primarily in the creative space with actors and creative types. She has a meetup on her own. If you're an actor or you're a creative type, you want to get to know Carrie Williams. Carrie, raise your hand. Why do you want to get to know the speaker?
They know everyone.
They don't know everyone, but I just promoted her from in front of all of you. I just did what she will never be able to do in the time that we have allotted together. Okay, so speaker. Next up, the organizers. Why do I want to get to know the organizers? They organize other things. They do know everybody in the room, mostly, right? I mean, I am the guy that's schlepping books from cars of organizers, and everyone's making fun of me because I'm outside talking to the organizers, schlepping boxes of books and files. Meanwhile, all I have to say is, hey, Amy, you know what? I really want to know the architects in the room. If Amy's the organizer, she goes, oh, you know what? Mike's an architect, Rob's an architect. Let me introduce you. Bam, bam. I've now just increased my odds that I'm actually going to develop a relationship with the right people. Right? Here's the other thing about the organizers. They know all the gossip. They know who's sleeping with who. Right? They know who pays their bills. They know who doesn't pay their bills. Right? They know who's sleeping together. So on and so forth. Right? The other three people I always get to know as I look around the room and I take stock of who's chatterboxing. I call them the yap jobs. So yap job number 1, yap job number 2, and yap job number 3. Right? So you all, I don't need to describe who the yap jobs are. You all know who they are. Why do I want to get to know the yap jobs? Because they yap. They talk. They're holding court. They're telling jokes. They think they're really funny. They won't be talking to each other because God forbid the spotlight's on two of them at the same time. Right? So I go in, I identify those 5 people at every event, and those are the only people I really care about getting to know and talking with. Right? So Mike, come up here. Please. He knows he's coming up here. Don't anybody get scared. So what I've asked Mike to do is, Mike is an absolute connector, and he's a total yap job at every single event. Right? Now, I know that's kind of funny, but I want you guys to understand that when I say yap job, to me that is the absolute highest honor at a networking event, because they usually know everybody in the room. They usually have more influence than somebody just showing up for the first time. Right? Ricky Powell, absolute total yap job. Right? Rick Bloom, AV guy, absolute yap job. Bruce Waterman, absolute yap job. Caitlin in the background. I just want to call her a yap job. But, right? So let me just show you very quickly how an exchange would go with myself and a yap job at an event. Okay? I know, and he's loud. Right? So look, yap job got glitter on his, I got my purple shoes, he's got his glitter sleeves. So, hey Mike, my name's Casey.
Nice to meet you, Casey.
Awesome. So hey Mike, tell me, is this your first time here at this event?
Yes.
It is? Cool. What made you show up?
Nothing else.
You heard the organizer was really attractive. So tell me, what do you do?
Whatever I want.
Excellent. That's great. So give me some examples. Like, what's your business?
I show lottery players how to play on thousands of tickets every month and get a check when they lose.
So you teach people how to play the lottery and actually win, whether they get a check, whether they actually they get paid to play the lottery.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how long have you been doing it?
Since 2006.
Oh, jeez. And where's your office?
All over the place. Hollywood, North Hollywood, Santa Monica.
Cool. And so is your model you sit down and talk to people individually, or do you like to talk to people in groups?
I don't like talking to anybody at all. I send out 100,000 sales letters every month.
Oh, cool.
And aiming for a loan to sign up for that.
Awesome. So you kind of have this push-pull model where you'll send out direct mail pieces, then those that are interested will contact you, they'll buy a book from you, and then you can sell them to the next program, right?
Yes.
Dude, that is super cool. Hey, look, I know there's a ton of people here and it's really loud. Would it be cool with you? Can I grab your card and at the end set up some time? I'd love to get you on the phone or at least in a Google Hangout. I don't know if you know what Google Hangouts are. Do you know what a Google Hangout is? Okay, so if you don't know what a Google Hangout is, it's basically a recorded Skype call. Essentially, it's done by Google. You have 2 people and you can record it, you hit broadcast, it immediately goes to your YouTube channel. Okay? So cool. So can I do a Google Hangout with you? I want to talk about you and your business, and I'll post it up on my blog, and then I'll send you the link, and and you'll get a bunch of exposure, and we can send people right to your site. Okay, awesome. Thanks, dude. Thank you. Now, did you hear me say my name?
No.
No. Did you see me try to sell him anything?
No.
I did. I actually sold him on the idea of meeting with me. I made it completely about him. I was in complete control of that conversation the entire time, right? And all my goal was to get him to say yes to doing a Google Hangout and letting me put a blog post on him. And did you see his face when I said I'll do a blog post on you? Yeah! And he got all Twitter pated, right? Here's the deal. If you do that with just 5 people and you walk out of the event with those 5 people saying yes to a Google Hangout, and you actually follow through and do a blog post on them, and you let them have the link to the blog post and let them promote it because you're promoting them, who benefits from that? I do. Right? Does that make sense? Does that give you guys a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a shift in maybe how you think about networking events sometimes? Okay, cool. That's right.